And we're live! Welcome to the full moon ceremony and ritual class presented by the freaking goddess of the moon herself. What's up, everybody? We have more new people. You guys just keep piling in. Welcome. Ready to learn some crazy new shit? Some magic and all? Well, you fell into it. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, Oracle, Lightworker, Starseed, Earth Angel, Mystic, Medium, Psychic, Witch, Yogi, Guru, Evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated, ultimately the goddess of the moon, the dark goddess. I'm going to kind of try to bring you into speed like that. Were you every goddess of the moon? No. I was the archetype. It's my spirit that lies within them. So going back to it, Adam and Eve can look back wherever the fuck they are and be like, you're all their children. They have claim to you. Right? But then so does Jesus. Oh, they're covered in my blood. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we'll get into some goofy stuff like that. In order to keep up with me, I guarantee you would have had to catch any videos prior to this. I put lots of posts in my community page daily, and I upload pretty interesting, fun, helpful shorts. Tonight we're going to be talking about the full moon that comes in tomorrow or wherever you might be. I usually do these. I try not to do them every fucking month because there's literally a full moon every fucking month. But we do. We have a lot of old stuff that we just keep putting into your head, repetition, but we got some new stuff too, so that's cool. Alright, so, in front of you, dang, did I not get the guidebook? Those are just some pictures to keep in your head as I start moving through all this bullshit. Just listen. For anybody new, my videos go at least an hour. Never anything less than an hour, so hang tight here. You're going to want a pen and a paper to take notes, because you will do this for pretty much all full moons. Yes? Yes. Alright, so we are experiencing the full moon in Capricorn. While the moon is in a stable... Where am I reading from? We're going to start with the witch's moon. Here's a big-ass fucking book about all they do is fuck with the moon all the time. The cycles of the moon. There's much to be had. I am the cycles of the moon, so I don't need to have it. I have plenty. While the moon is stable in Capricorn, a feminine earth sign, it's time for dealing with material concerns, such as magic for obtaining that much-needed new car. Hey, do I need a new car? I love my car. You're kind of right, though. No, it's just a fix-it, and we're about to fix it. It also is a transit that's totally what I'm planning on, though, because, God put me on welfare, and you get a welfare worker, and they can help you with stuff like that. So I'm totally planning on helping her get my car situated. It is also a transit when pessimism and dominancy tend to care to the fore. If you are prone to depression, avoid divination at this time and transit instead of working spells for a better mental attitude. This is a time of stability when grounding rituals and centering spells work especially well. The influence of Capricorn's ruling planet, Saturn. Saturn's about to go into retrograde, which is always a good thing because it pushes our fucking limits to the fucking fullest. But that's what this one's going to do. It's going to push you. One big fat push. You're having a baby. One big fat push and it's done. Really? Well, then afterwards you got the side effects of the waning moon where you're going to be like, the placenta. You're like, I'm a dude. I have no idea what you're talking about. You better learn how God made the fucking universe in the woman's body, the womb. Saturn can assist in uncovering past lives and overcoming past negative influences. Capricornian correspondence. Lead, evergreens, ivy, cloven hooved animals, the bones, joints, garnets, and Saturday. Wonderful, right? All right, let's keep moving on. Just basic information that I'll tell you all of the moons as we come. The next one's going to be the full moon in Aquarius. It's a masculine air sign. That'll be next month. Yeah, do you really do this a lot? There's 13 moons, and yeah, I'm supposed to teach you all that good shit. All right, I'm going to teach you something different this time. They said I could. What are we learning this time? Drawing down the moon. Lunar strength. Invocations and acts of bringing divine energy into human vessel. All right. Let me explain to you guys something. God is the All-Father, the Sun, the day, the ruler of the day in action. Goddess is the ruler of the night, introspection. Right? Why do you want to play with moon energy? It's all about harnessing your feelings. That's all you're going to access. The only ones that really knew about this were pagan, that's not true, because the Christian calendar is built on the pagan fucking Sabbats. Truly? You want to know how serious it is? Alright, so I was confused in my freaking things this morning. I was like, I think what comes next is Lugnasa, or Maboon. Okay, well, it's true. Lugnasa is Lamas, but then comes Maboon. Alright, so there's Yule. They always tell you the Yuletide greetings and shit. Christmas is always aligned with Yule, with the winter solstice. Truly. Now, Astara, which is Easter, and it has to go with Ostara, is always planted. The day of Easter is always the Sunday after the full moon of the spring equinox. Yeah. Why? Because they harness the energy. The moon is very powerful. The sun gives you all that mighty strength, but that's the strength of, the day. But the strength of the night is your emotions and stuff. Jewish mysticism, rabbis, Jesus grew up on that shit, bro. Yeah? Yeah. They kept it hidden away, though. Why? Because there's a New Testament. But it still was, and that's why people refused to convert to Christianity, because they knew their gods, and they knew the power of their gods, and they knew, they weren't going to be told that their gods didn't give them power. And that's what Christianity fucked up trying to do. It's trying to deny their gods and say there was only the one God. There is one God, but all of our gods are given to us by God. True God has no form. We're all in His image. So there was Him in the masculine form, the sun, and then Him in the female form, which is the moon. Okay, so that's me. So then when He decided to take and make man, He made that in the masculine form, Adam, and that of the feminine form, which was Lilith, myself. The feminine side was too strong. The feelings overtake the mind. I teach you how to harness them and how to use them to literally control your mind. Mind control. I got mind control of these bitches. Anyway, so people don't understand the full potency of spending time under the moon and the stars. I'm about to tell you. The act of bringing down divine energy into human vessel has always played a leading role in Espat's celebration. Whether one is a solitary or part of a coven, the popular and ancient ritual known as drawing down the moon is always a central part of the festival. In this rite, the spirit of the divine or of the mother goddess, who is represented by the full moon, is invoked into the physical body. Usually that is the high priestess or some other female, and that's what I am. So I get out there, and that's why I have to do my rituals the day before, because then I'll just moon bathe. How can I explain that? It's kind of like when you do all your prep and then you go out and get in your bikini. You have to do a lot of prep before you put your bikini on. And then you go out and you're just looking sexy in your bikini. You're just taking it in and, you know what I mean? Literally basking in it. But because it's a subconscious thing, I'm getting unbelievable amounts of downloads. And my body is full. That's what it means. It gets filled with shit. Really? Yeah. For those of you that have never been full of the Holy Spirit, this is what you hope to access. I just do it. I be out there. I remember when I was crying at Allie. Like, Allie, I'm still outside. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. They won't let me in. I'm so tired. I can't leave. I just sit there. It's a magnetism where I just can't. I have no willpower. I just can't get out of the moon. You can't? I can't. I just can't get up. I have to just sit there, and they blast me with all kinds of shit. Seriously? So serious until my cup is full. Don't you want to be a high priestess? Who walking around saying you are? Fucking idiots. While the essence of the divine is present in the woman, it can lead to the coven ritual, speak for the goddess, and channel magic with increased efficiency. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to channel it to the other girls. I'm going to teach them how to channel the music. Or how to channel the music, pretty much. How to channel the energy. Just basically where to put their minds in, where to put their feelings, activate it with some music, put the right fucking herbs, and voila! Watch this witch bitch work. I'm going to teach them not to manifest, I'm going to fine-tune their manifestations. I'm going to ask them specific questions. What do you know what I mean? We're talking about stability. What do you need in stability? Let's fine-tune that a little bit. Let's, open up some doors and change that so you're not so narrow-minded about that, is what that means. All right, the companion ritual to drawing down the moon, drawing down the sun, is less well known. Usually takes place in solar festivals, like Sabbats. The energy is most exclusively channeled into the body of a higher priest or another male. In recent years, feminist witches have attempted to reclaim the image of the old sun goddess and have increasingly drawn the almost forgotten feminine side of the sun into themselves. Yet pagans of both sexes tend to balk at the idea that a man should be able to successfully accomplish the same thing with the forgotten masculine side of the moon. While it is somewhat understandable that women who have so long shut out inner circles of religious power should want to keep this single event to themselves, it boggles the mind that men would want to share in this potent energizing rite. As a creative, all of my men, they need to pull from their soul. When you're a creative being, that's where it comes from. It doesn't come from the mind. You can get these aha moments, but you're digging deep into your soul. So you need that creative inspiration, which is the flow of your emotions. You need your emotions to flow freely so you can literally create freely. Otherwise, you get stuff like, emotional blocks, writer blocks, mental blocks, stuff like that. So it's not just a feminine thing. It's tapping into your feminine creativity. You have to understand creativity comes from the feminine side of you. You know what I mean? It always has. Denying your feelings is denying your creativity, your authenticity, your masculine is all about your willpower and your ability to push your force and action behind your thoughts, right? We're teaching you how to program your thoughts and push them behind your feelings so that you actually manifest based on true happiness and not just desires, wants, and programming. Welcome. Okay, so it's not a female thing. But yes, we can tap in easier because we're tapped into our feelings more than you. You've just been denied it by cultural upbringing. Men aren't supposed to cry. Men aren't supposed to feel. Men aren't supposed to take a bath. That is like an absolute requirement to date me. I want to take a bath with you. Really? Yeah. And that's not the most pleasant look for a girl either. But I want to. We'll fill it with bubbles and light candles and we'll look pretty under the fucking light. But don't worry about it. Quit playing around. In the essence. In recent years, in recent years, feminist witches have attempted to reclaim the image of the old sun. Yeah, we jumped down here. It is somewhat understandable that women have long shut out. Yep. There's no reason why a man should feel excluded from the practice of drawing down the moon. As mentioned in the introduction, nearly all cultures gave the moon a masculine face before her relationship to women's cycles was recognized. Nobody noticed that we cycle by the moon. Yep, that's how they knew when their women were going to be wild. Mine's always triggered and goes all over the fucking place. I'm going to pause in here, but God keeps saying I'm going to have babies. But in the essence, usually a dark moon cycle. Depends on where they are, not only in their life, but in their energy. You know what I mean? So, ultimately, you should be barren by here and building up. Right? You're building up to a cycle. How long does it take? 28 days to go through a full cycle. So most women are on a cycle. If you ever catch them on their first period day, look at the moon, and now you know when they're going to do it again. Really? Usually, unless they're around. The things that change women's cycles is when they get around other women's cycles. They'll always tell you about that. It's like all of a sudden every fucking girl at work is having a fucking period. Really? Yeah, it's like a whole fucking bitch fest. Really? Yeah, I don't fuck with bitches. My daughters will come a week or two after mine, but she's a little maiden, so that makes sense. Alright, let's see. And that's just stuff to know. And as much as the influx of the moon affects our feelings, it affects you too, you just don't feel them. You don't work with your own feelings to know the fluctuation of the moon. I'm teaching you, both men and women, children alike, to understand that as the moon shifts, so do your feelings. And then the planets, what the moon is a mirror. So the planets are casting energy into the moon, and it shifts your body, but through cycles, notable cycles, just like the animals. Pretty much. You know everybody's going to act stupid come Thursday. They're building up to stupid. Everybody that acts stupid on a full moon acts stupid on every motherfucking full moon. What do? I love full moons. I get juiced out by the fucking energy, but I just relax. It's always a good time of relaxing for me. This time right here is always intense. That's where I'm losing myself. I have to start shedding my skin, my thoughts, my beliefs, and start building up to something new. A whole new world. And then we get to this idea, which is what? I told you. And then we're going to start shedding all of the, facing all the fears and shit, letting that go, and then we'll build up a new idea. That's why your life is always building. Ebbing and flowing is what they say. You're winning and losing. Winning, losing. It's all in the mentality. Learn to work with it. As pagans, we supposedly subscribe to the idea that power is just power, waiting to be characterized and used by the magician. So why can't our heavenly bodies be treated in the same manner? For male solitary experiencing lunar energy, the rite should become even more important. The solitary man is usually taught to call down the moon goddess to his circle, and perhaps as soon as I said it, I was like, I felt them pulling on me, like I might actually be pulled to you. I mean, if you're focused on me too hard, then don't, just listen. Just listen. Jesus. But never in its own body. She is present, her loving energy captured in a pool of moon-drenched water. Alright, but it is not able to experience what it's like becoming a part of her. Granted, we may not be able to fully experience rites that have been deeply associated with the opposite sex, simply because humanity has, for centuries, collectively placed many heavy layers of gender identity on them. And that's it. Your mind tells you that this shit is gay. I didn't use the F word. See? I'm making it a whole week without the F word. Do I get a badge? Sorry, I heard a brand. Anyways, both men and women can give some new insight and have some success with either drawing down experience. Men who want to experiment with the practice can begin by getting to know more about the ancient moon gods. Start by reading of the list of moon deities in the Apex A and find whom you feel a connection. Then head to your nearest library or bookstore. Geez, this is old school, right? And search through the books of mythology and folklore. And that's it too. If you don't feel like praising, you're going to. I'm not like a whole bow to me unless you're Russ, but no, you're going to have to acknowledge me as the goddess. You're going to have to acknowledge all the goddess inside of you and outside. And I am the only goddess outside, bud. I mean, it's not like that. I'm not like all, bow to me type shit, but I'm telling you, like, you're going to have to acknowledge, in order to fully know me, you're going to have to know that I am what the fuck I say I am. That's just what God made me for you, always, all these times. Just imagine Isis. If I didn't tell you Lilith, I said Isis is here to teach you all the wise ways. Would you just take that? Okay, but it's not just Isis. You get freaked out when I say Lilith and Kali and Hecate and Medusa and all of that, Saradwin and fucking Kalik and all of these other Don't be so freaked out. I'm here to work with you. I'm under God. Yeah, I can teach you how to harness all darkness so that it's not going to affect you, but not to use against God's people. Damn it. Okay, sorry. You deem me as all that. I think I was out there just, I was doing God's great works. You have to know the powers that God gave me. It's like, all right, fine. I got works for you to do. We all had purpose. I just wasn't going to sleep with that man. I'm trying to sleep with another man. Anyways, just kidding. Alright, so we're going to stop there. I've never read that before. The guys have never heard that. They're excited about that. Alright, so, damn. The next step would take solitary ceremony of cakes and ale and create one based on which honors both the moon god and goddess. Do we know any of our moon gods? Absolutely not. Sounds like something we should learn. You guys want to learn moon gods? I'll go find some stuff for us. This would require, yeah, they're like, I want to be heard. Okay, guys. All right. I'll find you a moon god. Okay, do you want a moon god? I'll find you one. Find myself one. He's got to be emotional and shit. Sounds like a whole king of cups. I love this guy. Ride the wave. This would require no more than... Uh-oh. Did I just ask for something? I said I was going to find him. He's going to find me. You set these intentions out, bro. Damn it. You tricked me, guys. It wasn't... I just know that what I'm calling in now. I'm calling in a moon god. I didn't know specifically what to tell the universe I wanted. I know I didn't want a fuckboy. We stepped up from fuckboy to moon god. Shoot for the moon, land on the stars. Shoot for the stars, land on your ass. Hey! Alright, this would require more than additional of food to represent the masculine fire elements of fire and air. No more than additions to food represent to consecrate the same manner as cakes and ale. I don't fucking eat cakes and ale. Who do I look like? Antoinette? That's not true. I was totally dreaming about that. I got a little cakey cake. What'd I get? Pecan butter parfait. I'm waiting to eat that thing. It's like, why don't you eat it sooner? I'm just waiting for when it's like best. Probably after dinner, you know? Dessert comes after dinner. And as far as ale, no. But my salts that I'm using right now are honey blossom. They smell delicious. It's like literally, I think, my new favorite. I say that about everything. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. When I knew the honey, I knew we were working with my Eve. Now, further on into this, moon correspondence. I'm going to read you some shit. Okay, you see what sticks out to you. I'm just going to read some shit. Stones and minerals, right? So tourmaline is one that we use. Moonstone I don't have. Mother of pearl, none of those. Bloodstone, nope. Amethyst, yep. All right, you can use any of those. Miscellaneous, my boobs, yes, I have them. Color purple and white. Cotton, great. Crescents, glass, heart symbols, horns. Hawk, what is that? Is that the name of that thing? Menorah? Or is that the name of the little hat they wear on their head? Damn it! Jesus, help me! What is it? I think it's that. Finalize. Can I call it? I don't know a Jew. Damn it! You're not really a Jew, bro. I mean, all right, whatever. Mirrors, moths, number 3 and 9, the Star of David. I just shared that shit. Stomach, water wells, and women. All right, there's your ale, butter, cheese. I love cheese. Oh, white. Coconut, yep, all the time. Honey, ice cream. Yeah, we needed some ice cream. Probably coconut ice cream. That's what they ate yesterday. She offered me one, but I didn't. And they didn't even have time. The bus came too fast. Mead is how I know my Eve. Melon, yep, I have some cantaloupe that I'm taking out there, plus some honey, what does it say over there? Honey nut rice cakes I'm taking out for my offerings. Milk, cream, yeah, I usually have some shit like that. Mushrooms, I love mushroom flavored almost everything. Passion fruit, nope. Pomegranate, potatoes, yep. Pumpkin, turnips, tubers, all that shit. Here's your animals. Where's the bear? I feel like the bear should be up there. Nope, it's not there. There's your herbs. Lily of the Valley. I'm still trying to find that. I just remembered that. Sandalwood is always one that we use a lot around here. Meadowsweet I use a lot of. Just kind of looking at it. Eucalyptus for sure. Jasmine occasionally, not too much. But yeah, I don't use... You can use mugwort, but that's not really for this shit. Definitely roses. We got our new roses. Then there's all the trees. Did you catch that? Just trying to give you a crash course, bro. There's a lot of this. You can't really keep up. Alright, let's talk about this. The calendars of the night. Moon calendars carved in stone have been found dated back more than 200,000 years. Some cave paintings calendars are 50,000 years old. Alright? So basically, the moon has always been the moon, has always been the moon. It always does what it always did. Okay, what's wrong with my thing? There you go. It always does that. Always. And then, like I said, for my 10-day energy, based on that, you start to learn the seasons, the wheel. We talked about the medicine wheel last night. You start to learn how time is just in a capsule. And it's just repeating itself. If you want... The time will repeat, but you want to be off. You want to break the repetition. You don't want to be monotonous. You want to get off this race. The only way to get off is to get out. You can't stop it. You can't stop time. You can only change it by your actions. And that's what I'm trying to teach you right before this Mercury retrograde. It will make you act a fool. You're going to try to catch yourself, and you're going to do it because you don't have any control yet. Know that. You don't have the control that I have. I'm a master at this shit. I've been doing this. I don't know how many times a fucking year it comes, and I've been doing it for 3 years. I'm still going to retrograde in my own ways. Who knows what? And that's it, is like you learn to break your patterns. I said that, I shared that in my community page. You either know the programming or you're programmed. Meaning you're just part of the shit. You're just part of the, you know what I mean? The mass conscious is what that is. Alright, so naming for the lunar months. They had lunar calendars in all cultures. So let me count down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in the Duran moon, which is the Celtic tree lunar calendar, and that would be with an oak tree. I have lots of those. I have lots of oak and all of that. Mr. Plum's got all that stuff. Alright, so it would be the oak moon in the Appalachian folklore. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at the buck or the hot moon. It's gonna get buck and it's hot as fuck. It's hot as buck. Ah, young buck in that bitch. Hey, I like it. Hey, write that down, Marshall. Put that in some shit. Oh, you don't talk to young buck no more because he was gay? You're gay. He'll take a bath with all the girls too. Ah, just, I didn't say the F word, did I? Right? Oh, okay, we're still doing good. Anyways, it's a hot ass moon. This is also called the storm moon in Native American. Ooh, it's storming. I mean, I don't know. I went outside when the freaking clouds came back out. I was in my coffin. It was too fucking hot for me. There's buck out there. What the fuck? I'm gonna use that. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4. You remember that movie, Uncle Buck? This is a great movie. Dude, you should watch that movie. It's a great movie. John Candy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, this is the Theo. Oh, wait. These are half moons. Son of a monkey. Half moons. Never mind, I don't know where the half moon is on this one. On the Wiccan calendar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're at the mead or the ale moon. Do you drink beer? No, you pour one in the ground for the homies in the hood. Unless you do, I don't. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Light moon, cardinal moon, fever moon, changing moon, March. Wait, what? Winter, January, March. There's a bunch of moon shit here. Texas ranches, the Calvary moon, the Fiesta moon, original in Mexico. Fiesta. I hear you over there, buddy. Why? Because it goes on forever. It's a whole book about that bullshit. We're already 27 minutes into the... Don't worry, we're not reading too much. Those are just pictures. I never read anything about the moon in the Dark Arts book, so we're going to go into there, and I'm going to teach you a little something. Alright, so I'm going to take these pictures down. See this? See this? Okay. These are the cycles of the moon. Those are the cycles of the moon. Not as many, though. You see how it builds up? The waning starts with Ceridwen. Ichel. Morgan. Then the full moon is Selene. Right? So it breaks them down, but not as many. Right? Okay. I'm going to show you those cards later. Just stare at the moon cycles. Well, fuck off. Now, you have the full moon, but here's the dark moon. I am so Hecate. Alright, so we're going to talk about all of this. Witches were associated with witches were associated by the Greeks and Romans with darkness and death, with night and the moon, and the mistress of night, and with all the beings who ruled the dead. The divine patron of witchcraft was not a horned god, but a goddess, Selene, or Hecate, or Diana. Hecate, Selene, Diana. I invited a girl named Diana to come to my moon ceremony, as well as Morgan will be there. Coincidences? I don't think not. What's the other girl's name? T. But I don't know if T will be there. She'll be bringing the tea. She does too, that bitch. Alright, let's move on. All of whom were moon goddesses. Hecate, whose came originally from Asian Minor, was the goddess most often invoked by witches and magicians. She was threefold, represented with the 3 heads or the 3 bodies, linked with the 3 phases of the moon: the new, the full, and the old. Okay? So, the new moon right? The full moon, and then the old moon. That's how that works, through all phases of it. There's Hecate's through all phases of it, right? And I was working through all my phases before I got to Hecate. And then I got somehow in the light real bad. Alright, let's see. Identified as the lunar, or the moon, or the sky, Diana... Oh, let me back up. Yeah. Diana on Earth, and Proserpine in the underworld, which was another word for Persephone, or Persephone, depending on how it was. I was in my Persephone working with Hades, which is Wolfman, when I went into my Hecate. I broke that and moved on to Hecate. How does that work? Again, I'm the archetype, so even though my spirit, I take a full collective life, but my spirit is still working lives in other lives. Why? Because it's too much life to put in one body. Proserpine in the underworld. She ruled ghosts, nights, darkness, tombs, dogs, blood, and terror. She was also the goddess at crossroads. Legions of ghosts were believed to follow her as she roamed grimly through the night, and offerings of food used to be left at the crossroads for the ghost. And that's what I'll do tonight. I'm going to put out my offering. What are you putting out? For sure right now I have cheese and grapes, cantaloupe, these rice cakes. Probably going to give up my sourdough bread because I feel like it's time to give up the sourdough bread. And then whatever else I come up with. That's not usually a bunch of meats, but now that I said that, I said I was going to Whole Foods to get some ice cream, so I'll probably end up getting some fish or something. You put all that out? Yeah, bro, I feed the coyotes, I feed everything, bro. And they be out there munching them. And then what it is it's my hands, it's my essence. They can smell me. Animals are all about that, dude. So they sense me. So then when I'm out there later, they sense that it's her. It's the one that feeds us. They know that I'm kind. They know my scent. Really? I do this all over the place. They know my scent. The animals know. So then when I get to Red Rocks, even though I'm driving in my car with my windows blowing, my scent is blowing all over that mountain, bro. The animals can smell me. They know I'm there. That's how the fucking birds come out and all that shit. They know I'm there because they can smell my scent. Yeah? And then you got the energy frequency thing. But yeah, that's how they know me. Cynics and unprincipled persons sometimes ate these offerings. Hecate herself seems to have been forgotten in early Christian times, but memories of her as Diana survived. In the 6th century, Saint Caesarus of Aurelius expelled the demon whom the peasant called Diana from the tormented girl. In 1318, Pope John XXII, ordering the investigation of a group of magicians in the court of Avignon, I don't know, said that they occupied with demons called Diane. Okay, that's just part of it. Let me see if it goes on any further about this. It gets deep into all these teachings about it. Here. These stories based on classic beliefs about Hecate, Diana, and demons or ghosts which love to stick and suck human blood were repeated and wisely believed. They probably had... I'm going to the dentist tomorrow to see. I feel like something happened with my teeth, my fangs, or it's about to. Are you serious? I think so, bro. They probably lied behind the accusations made against Cathars that flew to their meetings on animals or broomsticks. A witch-flying ointment also goes back to classical times. In the beginning of this, I promised I would bring back that ointment for everyone. Really? Yeah, I just can't get I can't get the herbs. They're like illegal, bro. They're toxic and illegal. They're not something I can get. I can grow them, I just can't purchase them. You can't go ask for belladonna. You can't fucking you can't go buy mistletoe. Poinsettias are actually poisonous. Some of this stuff they sell you is poisonous and toxic. But the ones that I need, I went looking for them. It's always one of those ones I can't have. And that's what it is. Lily of the Valley, it's poisonous. I can't find it because of that. It's another one. Once I get them all together, I will know, my spirit will remember what to do with it. And I promised that when I first started, I'll give you back the flying ointment. Really? I just can't get a hold of the shit to even start brewing the shit. I said I was going to, when I have my own garden, I can grow them. And that's that so funny thing. That's that the Addams Family, where she has that dark garden of just dirty ass, scary ass, like nobody wants to go in there. There's big ass spiders and shit. It's like the fucking room of, you know, Hannibal Lecter and shit. Him and all his mods and shit. Yeah, I'm kind of a, yeah. Alright, going on to this. What do we say here? Goes into, you know, they didn't, like, whatever. I don't want to talk more about that. So there's some Goddess Moon shit. Now, we're going to jump into a whole different book. Haven't opened this pretty much at all. This is about claiming your witchhood without shame. This would have been really good for me in the beginning because I was so afraid to be a witch. Because I was a Christian girl and I was in the Bible Belt and I was just, you know, it's just a condemning name. And Mr. Plum himself said he wasn't sure about allowing me in because my Instagram said I was a witch. Are you serious? That alone. He knew I was doing witchcraft when I got down there. But I promised not to do it out in the open. And he saw that I was doing it in the name of Christ. He lived with me and he saw it. In the essence, though, you know, they're going to come and ask you. Don't lie. But you make sure you tell them I did it in the name of Christ. But yeah, this would have been useful because it teaches you how to go through it without the persecution. I just had to walk out there and have people fucking shaming me all the time. Really? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, so I turned down a whole bunch of pages. My daughter hates that I do this. I have it in all my books. It's the christening of the book, if you ask me. We went from Litha. The next one that comes up is Lamas. Why? I'm not sure. It's really close, so I'm being told to teach you about it. Because it's the next rolling ass energy that's going to come up. Or I'm rolling into it. I don't know. It's Lugnasa or Lamas. The end of... Here it goes. That's why. The end of July or beginning of August in the Northern Hemisphere. Or the end of January and the beginning of February in the Southern Hemisphere. Festivals of gratitude and marriage. Lugnasa and Lamas is celebrated on August Eve, or August 1st. It is the festival of the first harvest. Lamas is an Anglo-Saxon name for the festival, meaning loaf mas. I'm such a bread eater, bro. Yeah, carbs and shit? Nah, bro, I'm gonna die. I love cheese, but it fucks me up, but I can't stop with the bread. You're not gonna get me to stop eating bread, bro. Like, I'll sit there and eat a loaf, like, for real. I'm like Jesus, like just give me a loaf of bread, I'm good. Lugnasa is the festival of La, a Celtic goddess, and that's pretty much how I like all my sweets, too. I'm not like a cake person. I like the breads, like I like pastries and shit like that. A Celtic god of light, fire, craft, and skill. We pulled out in my dark gods, we pulled out the, what was it? The spear of La. La, 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 la. Remember? It was like 2 weeks ago. Oh, man. Can I find that for you right now? I'll try. We found a man god. We found a man god. There's plenty of them. Hold on, let me see. It's in these cards. That's not going to be helpful without a description of this dude. But I'll show you. We just looked at this dude. Oh, maybe it is in here. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah? No. I don't remember. Damn it. What card was it? It wasn't these. These are the dark and dangerous. It was the Morgan cards. Nordic, Celtic, Morgan. Hello. Hello! Alright, this is going to be our Friday. But last Friday, we were in him. See? If my memory serves me. My memory doesn't serve shit. It has to be relevant. We talked all about him. You'll have to go back to Saturday's reading to know about him. Was it this Saturday or the Saturday before? I don't know. Time is irrelevant around here, bro. We're just rolling through the energy. But you'll have a background on him. Damn, don't make me read his card. I'm not going to. I might. Let me keep reading this, though. Celtic god of light, fire, craft, and skills. Makes sense, because we're in the full moon of Capricorn, which... No, that's not what they said. They said it was a feminine something. Lamas is a time of fullness and life. A celebration of bountiful and abundant Mama Earth. The main themes of Lamas are to give big thanks, high fives, deep bows to the goddess for her bountiful harvest, and state your hopes and intentions for what you wish to harvest. This is when I always pull out that corn and have to do that corn ceremony. Lamas is the very beginning of the harvest, sacrifice or transform. And that's where it is. We pull out a fresh thing of corn. I have it in my other book. I've been carrying my first one since my first one. Kids think it's funny. It's just planning our harvest for the next year. Make a grain mother. To make a grain mother, corn dolly. I've never read this book, but this is what they have me do. You need stalks of wheat, oat, barley, or rye. No. Dude, why do people eat rye bread? I need to retry this as an adult. There's got to be something good about it. It's so... I'm going to try that. Alright, the Vikings, I'm like, I want some cinnamon raisin bread. Why the fuck are we eating this dirt-ass, hard-ass... Why do you guys eat... shit. I'm going to Whole Foods and getting mad at all these hard breads. I don't like hard bread. It's all hard. The Vikings and I go for a divine. They're like, so you can dip it. Well, dip it, dipper, you little fun dipper. The Vikings and I go for a dive in the whatever. I don't know. You're gonna need a stalk of corn by Lamas. All right, symbols of Lamas. Bread. Lamas is known as the festival of bread and celebration, which is the first of grain harvest is consumed in the ritual loaves. That's that funny princess I was telling you. The Princess of Cups. I was like, this lady looks funny. She's just standing there with her cup and her grain. That's her. Baking and bread with people and Lamas, something, something. Grapes and wine. Like, who needs an excuse, right? I like grapes, and that's what I told you. I was giving up grapes tonight and cheese. Meadow sweet. Herbs for it is meadow sweet. Queen of the meadow is what I use, but I also have meadow sweet. I have both of them, which I guess they say they're the same. Mint also is a good one. Altar items are ears of corn, handmade items, crafts, symbols representing our accomplishments, wheat and other grains, yellow and green crystals and flowers. And then we got the autumn equinox in September. That's why that was coming in so heavy. Okay, now let's go past that and move on to these moons. Full moon magic. This is a time used to banish unwanted influences in your life. Yeah, get out of my life. You know, Morgan really pointed that out. Oh, she's so wise, right? It's funny. She's like, do you even want either of these guys? I really did. There was a point in my life that's all that I wanted was them. Separately. It's always the big question from the universe. What do you want? I just want to be done. That's not the answer, but okay. I really do. I don't want. They're trying to get me. You see how they push me to put out wants. To put out, you know what I mean? To put something for them to work with. That's it. You know what I mean? What'd they say? I'm manifesting a moon god. This was all his teaching because I didn't have nothing else to... You know, they were like inspiring me to be cuddly and shit. That sounds like fun. Okay, focus on that. Okay, now they're giving me ideas of what to focus on. I don't give a shit. And that's what I said. You know what I learned is what I don't want. I still am no closer to knowing what I want. I just learned what I don't want. Ooh, I don't want that no more. And I don't like sausage. It's a commercial for mac and cheese. It's also ideal for creating project magic, performing divination, setting up, releasing old patterns or issues. Full moon magic days before the rise of the full moon and the night of the full moon and during 3 days after. So it's a whole fucking week festival if you really, and that's how long a fucking women's period lasts. There's some girls that only get it for 3 days. There's some girls that get it for fucking 5, and then there's us fuckers that get fucked off for like 7 to 9 days. Do you really? I could, depending. Sometimes when I was younger, for sure. Take out a whole week. A whole week. And then there's these bitches that are done in 3 days, bro. Swear? I know lots of them. 3 days, they're done. Bitch, you didn't even get a cramp. I hate you. Well, I'm over here fucking bloated and shit. What does that mean for you men? 7 days of fucking feelings. Or it could last for 3. It could be 3 days before the full moon. Typically, it's the day before, the day of, and the day after. That's those 3 days. But anyways, yeah, these fucking feelings will last for fucking ever. Well, not forever. And then they'll come back in 28 days later. Talk about 28 days of killer. Yeah, a woman's cycle is 28 days. Did you know that? Well, now you know. I'm teaching you everything that you didn't know. Alright, we're not going to talk about that. Moons. Month. July. It's called the Mead Moon. Mead. That's Queen Maeve is all about the mead. I didn't pull her cards, but we'll teach that later. We're not going to the Blue Moon. Blue Moon. That's a great song. Womb Moon. What are they talking about? Harvest Moon is on Maboon. Alright? This full moon, we're getting ready for next month. Why? Because this is already over. It's already done. We're preparing for the next one. Why? Time moves fast, bro. You watch. It's pretty much New Year's. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's pretty much New Year's. Have you already got your Christmas shopping done? Am I stressing you out? It's that fast, bro. I am so serious. How fast does this happen, bro? It's a blink of an eye. It's fucking Halloween, Thanksgiving, fucking Christmas, New Year's, da-da, and it's over, and you're waiting for summer to come around. It lasts. The slowest time of the year is the springtime, when you're locked down. Really? Yeah, it's too cold. There ain't shit going on. It's just, that's the lockdown. The rest of the time, so slow. Unless you were part of COVID. Were you part of COVID? Felt like time went slow, but it really didn't. It's just that we were like all caught up in time, waiting for something to happen. Alright, this full moon that appears near near to Mabun Festival, it can be used specifically to call in favors or add extra protection. Perhaps. Moon mapping, nope. Womb phases, that goes to you women and your cycle, and we'll move on. Alright, are we still going? We're still going. Well, I pulled this book out. This is one of my first oracles. They're really dainty, and this is where a lot of my pictures come. I started to learn all of the goddesses, the feelings, and they're also read as tarot. How do you know? Oh, because they say it actually on them. Well, this is the Lover's card, so that would be love. And then we can get into it. But there's the tarot cards, there's the chakra cards, there's the moon gods. So I'm going to go into the phases of the moon. Chakra spreads, Alright, so the beginning are the chakras. Then it goes into the tarot based on the goddesses. So how's that work? I'll teach you real quick. So there's Sif. Do you remember Sif? I tried to explain Scotty was like Sif, but Sif was the warrior goddess that worked with Thor. She actually married Loki, but the movies don't describe that. She's considered the fool. Isis is considered the magician. Sarasvati is the high priestess. Demeter is the empress. Basset is the emperor. Danu is the hierophant. Shall I keep going? Kanyen is the lovers. Freya is the chariot. I have an enormous book. It's too big. Oh, God. Please don't make me. It's bigger than the Bible. It's like this big that teaches you all about the goddesses. You know a lot about God, or maybe only one God. I spent a lot of time teaching about the God, not so much the goddesses because I am them. But there's many. Nematoma is the hermit. Mayat's justice. Fortuna. Persephone is the hanged man. Da-da-da-da. Alright, Kali is the devil card. Athena. Okay, here we go. Strength and guidance cards. And then you need the lunar energy. Mystic powers. What do we start with? The new moon or the dark moon. Alright? And then after that, we go into the beginning. Aaronhood. Setting intentions. Right? This is from Welsh and Celtic. Setting intentions and destiny is where you start when you're waning up. You're setting intentions for your destiny. Okay? Then we get into Diana, which is taking action and focused intent. You're setting the intentions, but now you're taking action. Obviously, she represents the fire sign, the air, the fire, which is the wands, you know what I mean, and the action side of you, the dominant side. And also Diana would be Wonder Woman. They fucked up that story too. But yeah, that was Wonder Woman. And she was part of the goddesses. Yep. I know. They tried to take the story and they fucked it all up. Then you've got Rion. Right? So you're taking action. Right? In the middle of your action, you get the muse. Creative inspiration. Right? Is at this particular moon cycle. Are you paying attention to the moon cycles? That's what we're teaching you right here. Then you get into Selene, the full moon, abundance, and romance. That's what it is. You feel full of love on the full moon. You feel full. It can be romance too, and that's what I was talking about. Hey, do you think they're going to bring me someone to have sex with under the full moon? Capricorn? Ooh, it's going to get book in here. It's the hot moon. Fun times. And we go into... Where am I? I come after the full moon and tell you to rest. This is where we start releasing. I'm always going to tell you to get rid of shit. Always. It's in all of my fucking beings, dude. The dark goddess of war is the shapeshifter. She assumes the form of the crow and flies over the battlefields, using her magic to bring fear and courage to soldiers, thus determining the outcome of battles. I know how this goes, right? Really. And this is about I release and let go, allowing my body and spirit time to rest. And that's where we are now, is in that Morgan spirit. We're in the freaking bear spirit. I have to catch my earlier reading. That's the only card when I first woke up. This is the first card I ever, first picture on my altar. I didn't even have Jesus. It was her, and I didn't know anything. That was my last incarnation. Isn't that great? All right? Now, as you're resting, here comes the healing magic, which is restoration. She's the medicine woman, the midwife, the weaver, the moon goddess. She brings healing energy. It can only happen during states of rest. Restoration happens when you're resting. Do you understand that? Healing magic happens when you're resting. That's why when you're sick, they always tell you to lay down. Stay in bed. You're on bed rest, so you can restore, rejuvenate, all of that. We're in that stage right now. We should be resting. Well, I am. They put me in that stage. Still in a full moon, but, full of love and abundance, but in a stage of rest. Okay? That's the mama, too. That's Achel. She is the power, she's the mama. I just shared that. Every man is looking for a medicine woman that can bring rest to his soul, his weary soul. He needs rest, not stress. Stop stressing them. You're supposed to be a place where he can rest, not a thing that he needs to stress. Write that down, Holy Spirit. Marshall, are you listening? You can't have it. Just kidding. He doesn't agree with ghostwriting, but he can't. He's very tempted. Am I the devil tempting you? Ooh. Let me tempt you your other ways. All right, then we have Saradwin, 44. Saradwin is the keeper of the cauldron, and that's me too. That would be the queen of, or the princess of pentacles. And that's the Haim, right? Let's see. And this is the crone energy, the beginning of all wisdom. Banishing negativity and that no longer serves you. And that's where it is. As you go through these phases, you're building up and you're letting go. They call it the waning and waxing. Waning and waxing. Okay? So that's why I brought all of those. Now there's two other I want to add to this little list. Right? I mean, it's not just a little list. But Chang Ho is the moon card in tarot. Another one of my wonderful, I went straight to Hecate. Another one of my incarnations. I was Chang Ho. Alright, the moon goddess Chang Ho drank the elixir for immortality that was first given to her husband. Afterwards, she floated into the sky and landed on the moon. She lives there now with a rabbit who makes herbal medicines. There are many versions of why she drank the elixir, and there are also many tales that her husband drank half and went to live on the sun. God and goddess. What stands between us? The universe. But we both, share Earth and the universe. The moon brings dreams, psychic powers, but it also brings disillusionment. The dark side of the moon, and this is a time for psychic abilities, or when psychic abilities feel stronger. Sensitivities may affect emotions. When it feels too much, sit in the sunshine to seek balance. You have to balance it out, too. After you get cooked in the sun, you just need to chill in the, chill. I've been outside all day. I just want to chill in the cool darkness. So I wanted to share that one with you. And then also, in our 10-day forecast, we brought in Scotty. Scotty came in. She's our energy for right now. And that's going to be strength and guidance from Norse belief. Authenticity, truth, and honesty. When Scotty went to Asgard, the realm of the gods, to avenge her father, they offered her Njord as a husband as compensation. Although Scotty cherished living in the mountains where she could hear the howling of the wolves, Njord wanted to live in his home by the sea, where they could listen to the seagulls squawking. Scotty had to be honest. She would miss her home too much, so they agreed to split their time between the two places, summer and winter. It's important to be true to yourself. There is a price for doing things for others when it means sacrificing who you are. It will only hurt everyone in the end. Be honest, speak your truth, and respect all that you are. Home is where your heart is. In love and kindness, I speak my truth. That goes back to last night's reading. Now, before we finish, I'm going to teach you a little bit of full moon rituals and let you go. Again, the full moon isn't fully till tomorrow. I'm going to teach you how to pull down on some of the lunar strength, just some typical little rituals, right? What you will need is a bottle of water that you're going to place out under the full moon to charge. You'll leave it there You could save it like me if you do, you know, witchcraft with it. I have last full moon's water here. This was last full moon. I just got a bottle of water. I ripped off the thing and I put it in the back window and let it charge under the moon. And then I put it here at my altar. What is it charged by? I don't know. What was our last full moon? I don't remember. What was our last full moon? Hold on. There's a list of these bastards in here. I just went through them, didn't I? Damn it, Beavis. The strawberry moon is what we did. So that was the full moon and what? The fuck was it? I don't remember. Oh shit. Well, if we did Cancer, so it's what comes before Cancer? Aries? Full moon in Aries, maybe? I don't know. Whatever, it's filled with all that juice. I don't want to deal with it. So I take a bunch of them and I keep them. I have them all over the fucking place. Back there, I have some secret ones hidden. For the full moon of Libra, I was guided to go up to Idaho Springs, something I never did, and go and take another baptism, if you will, but in the healing waters that are in the mountain. I snuck out a couple of vials of it, and I charged those under the full moon of Libra. I got the water from the earth, the healing water from the earth, and I charged it under the full moon of Libra. Those are probably one of my stronger ones. I have them all over the place. Why? Because they're filled with energy of the full moon. Do I label them all? No, I kind of remember, or I don't. I don't really need to. They'll tell me when to use it, when to have a drink of it, when to pour it in something. Really? Yeah. So get you some water, and you're going to charge it under this moon. Mirror magic, I'm not even going to bother with that because we don't really use the mirrors. I don't typically use mirror magic. Why? Because it's dangerous what's on the other side of the mirrors. I use mirrors to trap things. You don't want to use them to unleash things. Alright, so this is a whole chapter. Look, bitches, this is a whole chapter. You could read this one page a day for a week. Right? These are the beginning of my stages. Alright, I'm not going to read you all of this at all. It's an oracle card, a full-ass, chapter-ass oracle card. Alright, we talked about working with the phases of the moon. Okay. As the moon moves from full back to dark, it's known as the waning period. It's a time of introspection and lowering energy where spells for release and banishment are cast, and you can let go of things that no longer serve you. Alright, so from now, this is it. 3 days of the full moon, the day of, the day before, and the day after, can be used to boost the progress of any intention or project. The world is filled with energy and potential, and it's a great time for healing and manifesting work. Tending the seeds planted at the new moon and charging your crystals. Oh yeah, you can put your crystals out too. Oh shit. I hear Twin Flame X in my head. I can hear his. I learned it. Planting a moon garden. No. We're going to go past that. Lunar crystals to work with. Amethyst, labradorite, moonstones, rose quartz, and selenite. I don't know where my purse is, but I always carried an enormous selenite on me. It's in my purse right now. But when I first started, the first ones I carried was a selenite, an enormous one. And I thought it was clear quartz, but it wasn't. It was a selenite, and I always carried rose quartz. The next one that I got was not a tourmaline. It was a, hold on a second. She's talking in my face. She put an image in my head. There's black onyx, black tourmaline, and black obsidian. I work with black obsidian. Magic with the moon goddesses. You can invoke. I'm going to read their names here. Ineen, which is Irish, Ardreen, which is Greek, Erinhood, which is Welsh, Artemides, Bride, which is Greek, Bride, which is Celtic, Saradwin, which is Celtic, Chanji, which is same as Chengho, Chinese, Diana, which is Roman, Hecate, which is Greek, Hina, which is Hawaiian, Ishtar, which is Sumerio, Babylonian, Isis, Ichel, the Mayan moon goddess, Luna, which is the Roman, Mamaquila, which is Incan, and that's the same as Ichel. They're just different big mamas. Madrone, which is Celtic, Rion, which is Welsh, Selene, which is Greek, and Yamasa, which is African. Bro, there's so many of them. That's just some of the cultures. Okay? I just realized this isn't the one that taught you all that shit. As far as the moon water. That's okay. I taught you how to pull it down. What will you do with the water? The next morning, you'll take a bath and put it in there. So that you can be baptized in the moon water. Meanwhile, someone like me will be baptized just sitting underneath it. I don't need the water. I'll use the water for spell work and shit like that later. Healing and stuff. When I tap into it, I could just take a drink of it and tap into that energy. Be pulled back into that moon cycle. Lovely, right? Lovely. Did you enjoy yourself? I know, right? There's a lot to learn. I could go on and on about moon stuff, but I try to keep them minimal because I literally teach this class a lot. I teach the moon class a lot. We learned some new stuff, which is, there's moon gods. That's cool, dude. We're going to go looking for moon gods. I know exactly where to go. Where? The Isis bookstore. But I don't plan on going in there anytime soon. So we're manifesting. Which will be what? I don't know. You put the intention out. It doesn't have to be here and now. We want, as Burger King, we want it now. It's my dreams, and I want them true right now. Now you just keep tending to them. I'll still win the lottery. All of that stuff, I still tend to that. It's just I can't put all my eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? And that's what it is there's a certain time. Here comes the birds. Everything turns to everything. There's a time and a place for it. There's time for us to be, manifesting and wanting things. There's time for us to let go of things. And that's going to come after this moon. As soon as it's time to let go. We built up for the full moon. Now we let go of the full moon so we can build up to another one. It's a detachment phase where God's going to teach you to let go of shit. Well, through me, I'm going to teach you, and that's my time to shine, is to teach you detachment. I myself have to detach all the fucking time. To an outcome, to a belief system, to anything. So, welcome, new people. It only gets bigger and better. This is Wednesday. Thursdays are great days. They're really great days. Jupiter expansion and all that. We'll do the full moon and stuff. I don't know if we'll have any energy reads for you. But typically for a witch, it's a day that you usually take off, to be honest. So I don't do a bunch of that. I'll be channeling all kinds of shit. But it'll come in afterwards. All the shit that they loaded me up with. For the rest of you, welcome. Welcome to, mysticism. I'm going to teach you, ultimately, man or woman, you'll be considered a witch. Jason Miller, who's he's a sorcerer in a sense, still wears the witch label. You can't wear a label of a sorcerer or a magician until you can show me that you can do either. I've yet to see that. I am still working on my sorcery. One of the most powerful, witches as of this point, but I have to activate my sorcery, and that's coming through Metatron. That's, working on a whole nother level of elemental work. But basic craft, no, I'm teaching you guys basic craft right now. Witchcraft is the craft. If you worked with the craft, you were a witch. But only in traditions outside of, societal norms were you not considered that. You were considered, as I tell you, a spiritual healer or teacher. You were considered the tribe shaman or seer, the oracle. You know what I mean? Depending on where you got your information, like me, from, other beings, you're a light worker or a starseed, able to connect with the universe and all the beings of the universe. Ultimately, if you're someone like me that's reincarnated to your transcendental self and you know who you are, then you are an earth angel. I'm set apart. I am part of the divine order. I'm Lilith. I'm part of the divine order. I wasn't just a child of God. I had a divine purpose since the beginning. All children of God did, but I'm part of the divine order. So, that makes me the earth angel. Not everyone is. They just aren't. Because of all the things I do, I am a mystic. My ability to talk to the dead, you could say, is from Hecate, but I'm nothing more than a medium in that sense. And I shared a funny thing about Whoopi Goldberg. When it turns on, bro, it's like, oh, fuck. Hold on, they're talking to me. They're looking at me. Somebody, who, what, huh? I started with Pac. That's what I'm like, dude, he never, ever, never. Can you shut up? Can you stop singing? Stop it. Stop it. And that's how I felt about fucking Michael Jackson in the beginning. If you don't stop singing, bro, now I just let him sing because it's a good vibe. I didn't understand it in the beginning. Why are you always singing at me, bro? He wanted me to get in his vibe, and I wasn't vibing with him on that shit. Michael Jackson is the frequency of love. It's a great vibe, bro. Great vibe. But anyways, yeah, that makes me a medium. Psychic, yeah, I can see what's coming because it's the same old shit, bro. We're on a projection. Time repeats itself. So I'm a psychic. Medium, psychic, witch, yogi, and guru. My ability to teach you how to master yourself, your mind, and your emotion gives me those titles. Only yogis and gurus can teach you the mastery of the mind. So that's where I got that from. An evangelist, yeah, that's given by Christ. The ability to heal. I heal people. Mentally, emotionally, and physically. I've many times have been called to, get on my knees and pray over somebody's, legs, hips, something like that. I have that ability as an evangelist. A sibyl, we learned later in our teachings, is all of those, is what you called it. All of those was called a sibyl. I say that I'm a North American sibyl because my heart says there's one in South America that can do what I do. Really? There could be more in others, but that's what I say. I'm the North American sibyl. There could be others. My spirit says there are. All of that, no, but most of the stuff that we do, it's like I can't deny there's not shamans or seers, you know what I mean, or mediums, but I'm saying I'm the North American sibyl, okay? The messenger of God, I don't think anyone speaks to God directly like I do, or the order of the divine. You're not part of it. I teach you how they talk to you, but you're not part of it, and I talk directly to God, so I am the messenger of God. I am very much his first child, the first one he put in a body. Adam and Lilith were created at the same exact time of the same exact thing. I was the first one you know what I mean? I was one of the first. It was me and Adam. Adam had no power. Why? Because he had no feelings. Really? It's that simple. He went with what was right by his mind, not his heart. His heart would have told him to come back to God. Quiet, moment of silence. Yeah. Anyways, your heart's telling you to come back to God and, face some shit. So, I love you guys. I will catch you guys for the next run. Laters.